Welcome back, Rare Coin Insider. Imagine holding what looks like an ordinary 1-cent coin, something most people would ignore, toss into a jar, or even leave behind without a second thought. Yet hidden within this small piece of copper-plated metal could be a story that stretches across centuries of American history, a story of design evolution, economic change, and the fascinating world of rare coin collecting, where even the smallest denomination can shock the world with staggering value claims, reaching into the millions. The 2018 D1-cent coin, at first glance, appears completely ordinary, part of the modern era of United States pennies that circulate by the billions. But when you begin to examine it closely, layer by layer, detail by detail, you start to realize how much depth is packed into this tiny coin. From its composition and minting process to the symbols engraved on its surface, and the myths surrounding its potential value in the collector's market. To truly understand the significance of the 2018 D penny, you have to begin with its physical characteristics, because every coin tells its story through its material and structure. This coin weighs exactly 2.5 grams, a standard established after 1982, when the United States Mint transitioned from predominantly copper coins to a zinc core with a thin copper plating, a change driven by rising copper prices and the need to reduce production costs. That means when you hold a 2018 D penny, you are not holding a solid copper coin like those minted decades earlier, but rather a carefully engineered piece of metal designed for efficiency, durability, and mass production. Its diameter measures 19.05 millimeters, and its thickness is about 1.52 millimeters, dimensions that have remained consistent for modern pennies, giving them a familiar feel that has become almost invisible in everyday life. The D Mint mark on the coin is one of the first clues that connects it to a specific place in the United States, the Denver Mint, a facility known for producing billions of coins each year. This small letter, usually located just below the date on the obverse side, represents far more than just a location. It represents a massive industrial operation where precision machinery, quality control, and high-speed minting processes come together to produce coins at an astonishing scale. In 2018 alone, the Denver Mint struck billions of pennies, making the 2018 D1-cent coin incredibly common in circulation, which immediately raises an important question. How can something so common ever be associated with a value as extreme as $51 million? The answer lies not in the standard version of the coin that most people encounter, but in the rare possibilities, the anomalies, the errors, and the unique circumstances that can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary collectible. Before diving into those possibilities, it is important to explore the design itself, because the imagery on the coin carries historical and symbolic meaning that connects directly to the identity of the United States. On the obverse side, you will find the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been in use since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. Lincoln's portrait faces to the right, accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust." Above his head, Liberty to the left, and the year 2018, along with a D Mint mark to the right. This portrait was originally created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and although it has undergone subtle refinements over time, the essence of the design remains true to its original form, honoring one of the most respected presidents in American history. The inclusion of Lincoln on the penny marked a significant shift in U.S. coinage, as it was the first time a real historical figure appeared on a circulating coin, breaking away from the earlier tradition of symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. This change reflected a growing desire to celebrate national heroes and solidify their legacy in everyday objects used by millions of people. Turning the coin over to the reverse side, you will see the Union Shield design, introduced in 2010 as part of a redesign of the penny. This shield represents the unity and strength of the United States, with a banner stretching across it bearing the inscription, E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning, out of many, one. The shield's vertical stripes symbolize the original states coming together, while the horizontal bar at the top represents the federal government holding everything in place. Above the shield, the words, United States of America, are inscribed, and below it, the denomination, 1 cent, is clearly displayed. This design replaced earlier reverse designs such as the Lincoln Memorial, which had been used from 1959 to 2008, and the 4 different designs released in 2009 to commemorate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. The shift to the Union Shield was meant to provide a more timeless and symbolic representation of national unity, tying the coin back to the broader narrative of American history rather than focusing on a specific building or event. Despite its mass production and everyday appearance, the 2018 D penny becomes truly fascinating when you begin to explore the world of coin collecting, where rarity, condition, and unique characteristics can dramatically alter a coin's value. In most cases, a regular 2018 D penny found in circulation is worth exactly 1 cent, or perhaps a few cents more in uncirculated condition. However, collectors are constantly searching for coins that stand out, coins that have minting errors, unusual features, or exceptionally high grades that make them rare within an otherwise common population. For example, a coin that has been struck off center, double struck, or shows a die error can become highly desirable among collectors. Similarly, coins that achieve a perfect or near-perfect grade from professional grading services can command significantly higher prices than their face value. These grading systems evaluate factors such as luster, strike quality, and surface preservation, assigning a numerical score that helps determine a coin's market value. But the idea of a 2018 D penny being worth $51 million pushes beyond the realm of standard collecting and enters the territory of speculation, myth, or extremely rare hypothetical scenarios. For a coin to reach such a value, it would need to possess an extraordinary combination of rarity, historical significance, and collector demand, possibly involving a unique minting error or a one-of-a-kind feature that sets it apart from every other coin of its kind. These kinds of coins are incredibly rare and often become legendary within the numismatic community, sometimes surrounded by rumors and stories that fuel their mystique. As you continue to explore the story of the 2018 D 1 cent coin, you begin to realize that its true value is not just measured in dollars, but in the layers of history, design, and human fascination that it represents, a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry immense significance when viewed through the right lens. And this is only the beginning of what makes this coin so intriguing, because there are deeper details, hidden possibilities, and collector insights that reveal just how complex and captivating the world of coin collecting can truly be. As we move deeper into the world of the 2018 D 1 cent coin, the conversation naturally shifts from what is visible on the surface to what lies beneath the surface, because in numismatics, the smallest unseen detail can be the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin that captures global attention. One of the most important aspects that collectors focus on is the concept of minting errors, and this is where ordinary coins begin to transform into extraordinary pieces. During the minting process, coins are struck at incredibly high speeds using powerful presses, and while the system is designed for precision, it is not immune to mistakes. These mistakes, often called mint errors, are not defects in the traditional sense, but rather rare occurrences that create unique variations, each with its own identity. Imagine a 2018 D penny that was struck slightly off-center, causing part of the design to shift away from its intended position, leaving a blank crescent-shaped area on one side. To most people, this might look like damage, but to a collector, it is a fascinating error that tells the story of how that coin was created. Then, there are double die errors, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during the die creation process. This can create a subtle but noticeable doubling effect in the lettering or the portrait, making the coin highly desirable among enthusiasts who specialize in identifying such variations. Another possibility lies in what is known as a wrong planchet error, where a coin is struck on a metal blank intended for a different denomination or even a different country. If a 2018 D penny were somehow struck on a planchet that was not meant for a 1-cent coin, its weight, color, and composition would be noticeably different, instantly setting it apart as a rare and valuable piece. These kinds of errors are extremely uncommon, but when they do occur, they can command significant attention and high prices at auctions. The condition of the coin is another critical factor that plays a massive role in determining its value. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything, and coins are graded on a scale that ranges from heavily worn to absolutely perfect. A coin that has never been circulated, meaning it has not been used in everyday transactions, can retain its original mint luster, sharp details, and clean surfaces. These coins are often referred to as uncirculated or mint state coins, and they are graded using a numerical system that typically ranges from MS60 to MS70, with MS70 representing a flawless coin with no visible imperfections even under magnification. Now imagine a 2018 D penny that has been preserved in perfect condition, graded as MS70 by a professional grading service. While such coins are rare due to the challenges of maintaining absolute perfection, they do exist, and they can sell for significantly more than their face value. However, even in perfect condition, a standard 2018 D penny would not come close to reaching a value of $51 million. This brings us back to the idea that for such an extreme valuation to be possible, the coin would need to possess something far beyond condition alone. One of the most intriguing aspects of coin collecting is the role of human psychology and market dynamics. Value is not determined solely by physical characteristics, but also by demand, perception, and the stories that surround a coin. There have been instances in history where coins with unique backstories, limited availability, or sudden spikes in popularity have seen their values increase dramatically. Collectors are often driven by the thrill of owning something rare, something that few others have, and this desire can push prices to extraordinary levels. In the case of the 2018 D penny, rumors or claims of a version worth millions could be fueled by misunderstandings, exaggerated listings, or even intentional hype designed to attract attention. Online marketplaces sometimes feature coins listed at extremely high prices, but these listings do not necessarily reflect actual sales. Instead, they can create a sense of mystery and curiosity, leading people to believe that hidden treasures might be sitting unnoticed in their pockets or coin jars. At the same time, it is important not to dismiss the possibility that a truly unique specimen could exist. The history of coin collecting is filled with surprising discoveries, coins that were once overlooked but later recognized as incredibly rare and valuable. These discoveries often happen when someone takes the time to carefully examine their coins, looking for subtle differences, unusual markings, or anything that seems out of place. It is this sense of possibility that keeps collectors searching, always hoping to find that one coin that changes everything. Another layer to consider is the role of professional grading and authentication services, which have become essential in the modern coin market. Organizations like PCGS and NGC provide certification that verifies a coin's authenticity and assigns it an official grade. This certification adds credibility and trust, making it easier for buyers and sellers to agree on a coin's value. If a 2018 D penny with an extraordinary feature were to be discovered, it would likely go through such a process, gaining recognition and potentially attracting global interest. The journey of a coin from circulation to collectible status is not just about rarity or condition, but also about timing and exposure. A coin that might be worth only a few dollars today could become significantly more valuable in the future if interest in that particular series increases, or if new information comes to light. This dynamic nature of the market adds another layer of excitement, turning coin collecting into a blend of history, science, and speculation. As you continue to explore the story of the 2018 D1-cent coin, it becomes clear that its true intrigue lies not in its face value, but in the endless possibilities it represents. From minting errors and perfect condition specimens to the powerful influence of collector demand and market perception, every aspect of this coin contributes to a larger narrative, one that blurs the line between the ordinary and the extraordinary, inviting anyone who holds it to take a closer look and wonder what secrets it might hold. As the story of the 2018 D1-cent coin continues to unfold, it becomes impossible to ignore the powerful role that rarity plays in transforming an everyday object into something extraordinary, because in the world of coin collecting, rarity is not just about how many coins were produced, but about how many truly unique or exceptional examples exist within that massive population. Billions of 2018 D pennies were minted, flooding circulation and making the coin one of the most common pieces of currency in the United States. Yet within that ocean of identical coins, the possibility of a single unusual specimen creates a sense of excitement that keeps collectors searching tirelessly. Rarity can emerge in unexpected ways, sometimes through minting anomalies that were never meant to happen, and other times through survival rates, where only a small number of coins remain in pristine condition years after their release. For instance, while millions of 2018 D pennies may still exist, only a tiny fraction of them will ever achieve top-tier grading levels, and an even smaller number may exhibit rare characteristics that set them apart. This is where the concept of population reports comes into play, as grading companies track how many coins of a specific type have been certified at each grade level, giving collectors insight into just how rare a particular coin truly is. Now imagine a scenario where a 2018 D penny is discovered with a previously unknown minting error, something so unusual that it has never been documented before. Perhaps a dramatic die break that alters the design in a striking way, or a combination of multiple errors occurring on the same coin. Such a discovery would immediately capture the attention of the numismatic community, sparking debates, analysis, and intense interest from collectors around the world. The coin would likely be studied, authenticated, and eventually presented at major auctions, where its uniqueness could drive bidding wars among serious collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to own a one-of-a-kind piece. The idea of a $51 million valuation may sound almost unbelievable, and in most realistic market conditions, it is far beyond what a modern penny could achieve. However, the history of coin collecting includes examples of coins reaching astonishing prices due to their extreme rarity and historical significance. These coins often become legends, talked about for generations, and they redefine what collectors believe is possible. While the 2018 D penny does not have the historical weight of centuries-old coins, its potential value could theoretically skyrocket if it were linked to a unique event, a one-time minting mistake, or a story so compelling that it captures global attention. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying stories, and the more compelling the story, the greater the demand. A coin that can be tied to a specific moment in time, a mistake that slipped through the cracks of a highly controlled minting process, or a discovery that challenges existing knowledge can become far more valuable than its material composition would suggest. This is why even modern coins, despite being produced in large quantities, can sometimes achieve surprising levels of value when the right conditions are met. Another fascinating aspect of the 2018 D penny is its place within the broader timeline of U.S. coinage. By 2018, the penny had already gone through numerous changes, from its early days as a large copper coin to its modern zinc-based form. There have been ongoing debates about whether the penny should even continue to be produced, as its manufacturing cost often exceeds its face value. Despite these discussions, the penny remains an iconic part of American currency, deeply embedded in the culture and daily life of the nation. This cultural significance adds another layer to the coin's appeal, because collectors are often drawn to items that represent more than just their physical form. The penny is associated with sayings, traditions, and everyday experiences, from "a penny for your thoughts" to the idea of finding a lucky penny on the ground. These cultural connections give the coin a sense of identity that goes beyond its monetary value, making it a meaningful object for collectors who appreciate both its history and its symbolism. In the case of the 2018 D penny, its connection to the modern era also makes it accessible to new collectors, people who may not have the resources to acquire rare historical coins, but still want to participate in the hobby. Searching through pocket change, examining coins for errors, and learning to identify subtle differences can be an exciting entry point into the world of numismatics. The possibility, however small, that a valuable coin could be hiding in plain sight adds an element of treasure hunting that keeps the experience engaging and rewarding. Market value, in this context, becomes a fluid concept, influenced by factors such as rarity, condition, demand, and even timing. A coin that is largely ignored today could become highly sought after in the future if new collectors enter the market or if trends shift. Conversely, a coin that is currently popular could lose some of its appeal if interest declines. This constant movement makes the coin market dynamic and unpredictable, where knowledge, patience, and a keen eye for detail can make all the difference. As the narrative builds, the 2018 D1 coin stands as a perfect example of how something seemingly insignificant can hold layers of complexity and intrigue. Its standard form may be common and easily overlooked, but its potential variations, its connection to history, and the endless curiosity it inspires among collectors elevate it far beyond its humble denomination. And as the journey continues, there are still more dimensions to explore, including deeper insights into collector behavior, auction dynamics, and the fascinating stories of coins that have defied expectations and captured the imagination of the world. As the journey through the 2018 D1 coin reaches its final stretch, everything begins to come together in a way that reveals not just the mechanics of coin collecting, but the deeper fascination that drives people to search, study, and sometimes even obsess over objects as small as a penny. What started as a simple piece of currency now stands as a gateway into a world where history, economics, art, and human emotion all collide, creating a marketplace that is as unpredictable as it is captivating. One of the most compelling aspects of this coin story lies in the way auctions and private sales shape the perception of value. When a rare coin appears in a high-profile auction, it is not just being sold, it is being presented to the world as something special, something worthy of attention and competition. Collectors from different parts of the world watch closely, analyzing every detail, studying its certification, its condition, and its uniqueness, all while preparing to place bids that can escalate rapidly within minutes. In such environments, the price of a coin is no longer tied strictly to logic or material worth, but to desire, prestige, and the emotional thrill of winning something rare. Imagine, for a moment, a 2018 D penny with an unprecedented minting anomaly, authenticated and graded at the highest possible level, introduced into such an auction setting. The room, whether physical or digital, would be filled with anticipation, collectors recognizing that they may be witnessing something that could redefine modern coin collecting. Bidding would begin cautiously, then gradually intensify, each new offer pushing the value higher, driven not just by the coin itself, but by the story attached to it, the idea that this is not just a penny, but a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. In such a scenario, numbers can climb far beyond expectations. And while reaching $51 million would be extraordinarily unlikely, the very discussion of such a possibility highlights how powerful perception and rarity can be. Beyond auctions, there is also the quiet side of coin collecting, where individuals build their collections over years, sometimes decades, carefully selecting coins that hold personal meaning or represent milestones in history. For these collectors, the 2018 penny might not be about extreme value, but about completeness, about owning a piece of a specific year, a specific mint, a specific design. It becomes part of a larger narrative, a puzzle where each coin adds another piece to the overall picture. In this way, the value of the coin is not just financial, but emotional, tied to the effort and passion invested in the collection. Another dimension that cannot be ignored is the role of misinformation and exaggeration in the digital age. With the rise of online platforms, it has become easier than ever for claims about coin values to spread rapidly, sometimes without proper verification. Listings that suggest extreme prices, headlines that promise hidden treasures worth millions, and videos that highlight rare possibilities can all contribute to a sense of excitement, but they can also create confusion. It is important to approach such claims with a critical mindset, understanding that while rare coins do exist, their values are typically supported by documented sales, expert analysis, and verified rarity. At the same time, this environment of speculation keeps the dream alive, the idea that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon something extraordinary. And that is perhaps the most powerful aspect of the 2018 penny story, not the guarantee of immense wealth, but the possibility, however small, that something overlooked could turn out to be remarkable. It transforms everyday moments, like receiving change at a store or sorting through old coins, into opportunities for discovery, encouraging people to slow down, to observe, and to appreciate the details that are often ignored. As we reach the end of this exploration, the 2018 1-cent coin stands as a symbol of contrast, a coin that is both incredibly common and potentially fascinating, both ordinary and filled with hidden possibilities. Its weight of 2.5 grams, its zinc core with copper plating, its Lincoln portrait and Union Shield design all come together to form a piece that is instantly recognizable, yet capable of holding secrets that only reveal themselves to those who take the time to look closer. Its connection to the Denver Mint, its place in modern U.S. coinage, and its role in the broader narrative of collecting all contribute to its identity as more than just a penny. And so the story ends not with a definitive answer, but with an open invitation, an invitation to think differently about the objects we encounter every day. Because somewhere, in a pocket, a jar, or a forgotten corner of a drawer, there could be a coin that carries a story waiting to be discovered, a detail waiting to be noticed, a possibility waiting to be realized. The 2018 penny may not commonly be worth millions, but it represents something far more valuable, the idea that even the smallest things can hold extraordinary meaning, and that sometimes the greatest treasures are the ones we almost overlook.